Hey, it's Clay. Let's talk about how to make money with YouTube Live as a stock day trader. And in this video, I want to walk you through the step-by-step thought process that you're going to want to go through so that you put yourself in the best position possible to make as much money as possible. Like I said, using YouTube Live as a stock day trader. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then let's get started. So the first step in all this, yes, you're a stock day trader, but what type of stocks? There are a lot of different types out there, and you want to make sure that you're trading on YouTube Live a stock that's going to behave the way you want it to behave, the way that you need it to behave, and I'll get to more of that later. But at the core, we just want stocks, you want stocks that move fast, that don't really take that much volume, that much, oomph to get them going. And this is where, well, in the world of stocks, this is where the low floats come into play. Low floats just mean the ability to move very, very quickly. Now, yes, that means ability to move down, but we don't care about down, okay? We need to make sure it works for us, right? And again, I'll get more to that later. But what type of stocks usually have low floats or more so have the ability to move very quickly? Now, not all, for example, penny stocks have a low float. Some of them have massive floats, but there are some with very, very low floats. Maybe there could be micro caps, maybe there could be small caps. Granted, all these sometimes get intermixed and the terminologies get, kind of blended together. But that's why I try to bring this all back to, well, let's just call them low float stocks because, again, at the core, what you need to be after is stocks that can move very, very quickly. And low float stocks are going to move very, very quickly with not that much effort needed. Now, step two here, very, very critical because if you can't do step two, everything else is going to fall apart on the back end. And I'll get again what I mean by that here in a little bit in the future steps. But you want to make money, right? Of course. Well, in order to do that, especially if you're on low floats, step one, which move fast, well, because things move fast, what? You need to make sure that you're first. Meaning you need to be that maybe you're not the exact first person. I don't mean that in the literal sense, but you need to be very, very close to being one of those first people that get into the trade. Because if you know that the trade is going to be moving fast, is going to be moving quickly because it's a low float, well, then if you're going to want to make money, you need to be one of those first people in. So it brings up the next question. Okay, well, how can we make sure that you're going to be the first person in? Well, this is the beauty of it all. Let's go to step number 3. Now, this truly is the beauty of it all because we need to be live. But here's the thing. You're not actually live. You won't be live. What do I mean? Well, here is right from YouTube and the help section here. It maps out with, the live quote unquote stream latency, which means, hey, there's a delay. So it's not live, even though it says it's live. Even though, in the title and you got the red dot, which is proclaiming that it's live, it's not actually live. And when it comes to that, you have a bunch of different choices. You can do normal, low, or ultra low. But here's the thing. Even if you do ultra low, there's still a few seconds there. And think about that. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. So let's say it's only 3 or 4 seconds. Think about how long that actually is in the world of day trading. Especially, again, what type of stocks are we going to be trading? Low floats. Why are low floats important? Because they move fast. And now what's going on? Well, we have at least 3 to 4 seconds in like a best case scenario, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, with a stock that's going to be moving very, very fast. And where are we going to be again? Oh yeah, step 2. We're going to be one of the first people in. And this is how we're going to be one of the first people in. Because, those beginner people, beginner day traders, people that are just getting started in the market, they don't realize that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 seconds makes a huge difference. They're not going to realize that you're trading low float stocks. So they're not. Now, of course, you're going to tell them, hey, don't follow me into a trade. Don't do what I'm doing. This is just for entertainment purposes only. Of course, you're going to tell them that. But let's be honest with one another. We know that people out there, they're not going to want to. They don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to have to put in the work to actually learn how to do this. It's so much easier to watch somebody live and then just follow them, right? Because they're watching you live. So even if they get in maybe just a little bit, it's just. But of course, it's important to tell them, hey, don't follow me. But between you and I, we know that that's not going to actually happen. But that's the key. Is it's not actually live. So that's going to allow you to be able to get in first and be one of those first people into the trade. Truly a thing of beauty, isn't it? Now, this is where things get really fun though, because this is where you actually start to make money. So because we have the sheep, which is step 4, and the sheep are going to be the people that you tell, don't follow me, don't do what I'm doing. This is just for educational, this is just for entertainment purposes only. Don't follow me. Okay. They're the sheep, they're going to follow. So how do you take advantage of the sheep? Well, I mean, it's easy at this point. How? Well, you already know we have a fast moving stock. You already know that you're one of the first people in this stock, and you know that and the reason why you're in first is because, well, you know what you want to trade, and then you know that you have a good 3-4 second head start in everybody. So you're in. So once the sheep come in, what are they going to do? They're going to think that oh, wow, I'm doing this person's strategy. They're going to think you're doing your strategy. But of course, they're doing your strategy several seconds behind. But when that happens, well, up the price goes. And there's nothing fancy here. Don't overcomplicate this. Once you get enough money, once you feel good and like, okay, yeah, this is money, just sell. Sell a pair, sell wherever you want. And then, yeah, here's the other beautiful thing is some of the sheep. So along the ride here, some sheep will also make money with you. So it's, other people will make money with you. Now, of course, on the downside is after you get out, you tell everybody, okay, I took my profits here, which again, won't be a big deal because you have a 3 to 4 or 5 second head start on everybody. So taking profits will not be a big deal. And of course, you want to be honest. So you want to tell people, hey, I took my profits. But who cares? You took your profits and, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of bloodshed. There's going to be a bunch of sheep that get slaughtered because then it becomes a game of musical chairs. Because again, it's a low float stock. So low floats move fast in both directions, but we don't care about the downside because we know you're going to be making money on the upside. So it explodes, it goes up, you take your profits, you then let everybody know, and therefore nobody can accuse you of hiding anything because, hey, this person tells us when they're buying, they tell us when they're selling. Beautiful. And again, you don't have anything to worry about because it's all live, but it's not actually live. And then when the price goes down, you have some slaughtered sheep. Now, because of that, it's going to be it gets a little shaky here, but here's how you get it. Because, there are some people that are watching you live and they lost money, but we don't really care about them because there's always new sheep to find. So how do you find the new sheep? Well, here's step number 5. So we got to get ourselves some more sheep. How do you do that? Well, now you're going to make a nice YouTube video. And the YouTube video is very simple. You make a video, you make a cool little thumbnail talking about how much you made. So, hey, I made, and then just fill in the blank, whatever amount you made by slaughtering other sheep, by following all the sheep that, followed behind you. You know what? Make that video because what's that going to do? Well, now that's going to give you credibility. That's going to help other people perceive, wow, this person knows what they're doing. Wow, I want to do their strategy. Look at all their money they made. Wait, and they're going to be on YouTube, they're going to stream on YouTube Live? Well, of course I'm going to follow them. Look at how much money they just made. They just made a bunch of money. Therefore, they must have a great winning strategy. So, yeah, I'm going to go follow them. And what's that going to do? Well, that's going to get you more followers. That's going to replace some of the sheep that maybe just lost all their money. So that's the idea. Because remember, not all the sheep will lose money on every single trade. Some of them will make money with you. Now, eventually they're going to lose money because we both know that, long term, do you really think trading and day trading is as easy as blindly following somebody else? But when they're new, when they're just a beginner, they don't know that. So our goal here is just to make sure some make some money, which they will. But then we got to, like I said, we'll be able to replace all the sheep that get slaughtered. But by doing these videos that show us how much we made, well, then we'll be able to just keep on bringing on new sheep, and that's the key. So step 5, very, very important. Yeah, you got to put together a thumbnail. Yeah, you got to kind of do a video, but it'll be worth it because it'll keep those sheep and, it'll keep the sheep in hand and keep the herd growing a little bit. So that's the very, very important step here. And this is the beautiful thing. We're done. Step number 6, just find a new stock. You know what type of stock to find, a low float. And then from there, you know how to be first. How are you going to be first? Well, you're going to appear live. You know that you're not actually live. When the sheep come in, push up the price, you sell. And then after that, because some sheep are going to get slaughtered, well, you got to replace those sheep, make that YouTube video, and then here they are, right back at step number 6 again, and just go through it again. Rinse, wash, and repeat. It's really as simple as that. Now, hopefully at some point you realize that I was joking around and trying to be a little sarcastic here, but I am trying to illustrate and do a little bit of education here. So my question to you is, does this sound familiar? Now, for full disclosure's sake on my end, I don't have anybody in mind in particular when I made this video. So I'm not trying to badmouth anybody. In fact, I think what these people do are great. bravo to them. Bravo for them for actually doing something rather than sitting around being a sheep, wanting to be lazy, not wanting to learn, not wanting to do anything. So I'm not mad at anybody that does this. And all I'm saying is just be aware of it. If you are a beginner, if you're just getting started in the market as a day trader, then realize that YouTube Live isn't actually live. And if all your plan is hey, I'm going to follow this person blindly because they post videos of themselves making a lot of money, and I'm just going to do what they do. I want to see them live. Just go for it if you want, but it's a very, very risky game because you are behind. YouTube Live is not live. But again, I really want to reiterate, I'm not talking about anybody specifically. And I mean, even if I was, bravo to them. Like I said, I have nothing against them. I appreciate their hustle. I appreciate their grind. I mean, it's a bit, but you know what? If people are going to be that lazy, if people don't want to put in the effort and work and just think it's as easy as being a sheep and blindly following somebody else, then, that's on them. That nobody is forcing them to behave in that manner. But like I said, overall though, hopefully I can open some eyes. Hopefully I can maybe save you some headache because I get a lot of people don't even realize that there is that latency. YouTube Live, even if it is just a few seconds with these low float, these stocks that can move so quickly, is a dangerous, dangerous spot to be in. Once again, especially with the context of you being a beginner, you being new. And those are the people that are actually watching these videos that think it's a good idea to try to puppet trade, to try to follow somebody else, because anybody with experience knows that, sure, that sounds good, but the reality of is just not quite that easy. So unfortunately, yeah, if you want to have success as a day trader, if you want to make money over the long haul, then you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to put in blood, sweat, and tears to build a strategy that works for you and your risk tolerance, because you just can't follow somebody and expect it to, I'm not going to say you're never going to make money. You'll make money, but there's just more that goes into it than that. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully maybe you got a little comedic spin out of it. I was trying to be funny, but who knows, maybe you're like, Clay, you're not funny at all. Fair enough, but there is still the educational lesson there. There is still the lesson there of just how all this works and what you need to be aware of. So hopefully that helped out. If you enjoyed the video real quick, please hit that like button. Very time efficient way to let me know that you enjoy these types of videos. In fact, I don't know, leave me some comments down below. Do you enjoy what I try to be a little bit of funny here with these videos, so I make an educational point? Maybe you should say, no, Clay, you're not funny. Just stick with pure education, and that's fine too. I'm always up for constructive criticism. Also, like I said, comments, questions, suggestions, leave those down below. I do read and will reply to them, especially on a video like this. And then finally, if you enjoyed this video, I'd encourage you to check out the other channel or the other videos on the channel. Lots of variety out there, and hopefully you like what you see enough to hit that subscribe button. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. And just remember, as painful as it is, as nice as it would be to say that, yeah, you can be a sheep and make money, there's more to go that goes into successful day trading than that. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.